Hey guys, so I took this computer home a couple of weeks ago and erased everything and reinstalled everything. And so hopefully, um, number one, all the bugs have been worked out. Number two, it gave me a chance to set up everything from scratch, and now I know what's going on, so I can better help you guys to know what's going on when you have questions. Instead of in the past, I haven't really been up to speed on some of the software like MediaShout, and so when people have had questions, I kind of throw my hands up and I say, I thought you knew. So hopefully, I can help better serve you guys now. I wanted to show you some of the changes that I've made to this to hopefully make things simpler. One, you've got this fancy, pretty new wallpaper, which I hope you guys like. Um, and two, all of the media is now consolidated into this one folder located on the desktop called, of all things, Media. So when you open that up, this should start to look familiar. You've got different folders for different items. Um, and all of the normal subfolders are still just the way that they've always been. Um, so that's that. Here's a video for AJ's dedication this Sunday that is just sitting there waiting to be used. Um, let's go ahead and open up MediaShout, and I'm going to show you a couple of things that you may or may not have known before. All right. In the past, I believe the way we've done things is to create a new file every week and name it with the date. I don't see the need to continue to do that because once we do the service, we don't need that file anymore. So the way I have this set up is every time you open it, it's going to open this default sort of template. It's got all the headings. It's got the announcements already in there, ready to go, right there. And an opening song, a spot for all the stuff for the sermon, and a spot for all of the worship songs at the end. We'll go ahead and dump our media for the service in there. You would at the end of the service, when you go to close, it's going to ask you if you want to save. Say no, and that way, every time the next person opens up MediaShout, it's going to be this blank, this nice blank template. It's all set up and ready to go for the next person to run it for the next service. Hopefully all this makes sense so far. All right, so we want to start adding our content. And this is the part that probably most of you know, but just to cover all the bases, if you want to import a song, you go to your Elements deck and drag in a lyric. And we're going to drag it actually into this worship section here. Then you would just go through and double click actually, whatever songs are going to be used this week. And hit select. There you have it. Now, what you'll notice is I've made all of the songs have the same blue background. Another thing I've done, just to let you guys know, is I deleted every song. And I went back one by one and I put in just the songs that we actually do. On Planning Center, there is a list of all of the songs in our repertoire. And I made sure that all of those songs are now in MediaShout, and none of the songs we don't do are in there. So things should be pretty, you shouldn't have to worry too much about not having a song. While I'm on that topic, if you don't have a song, maybe it's a new song that we've never done before. In the past, you've had to manually type in the lyrics, and MediaShout is really confusing the way that they have that set up to do that. You don't have to do that anymore. If we click songs here and click on this little button here, you get a drop down and click this button called Song Select. Song Select is an online database that MediaShout is actually able to access. I think we used to use this years ago, but because it's a subscription service, I think we just sort of let our subscription lapse. Well, I made sure that we're up to date, and so our Song Select subscription now works. And so what happens when you've clicked on this Song Select button is you can now it's going to make a liar out of me. Oh, here's the I was clicking on the wrong box. You can now search for a song. Let me think of a song that maybe we don't do. How about Turn It Around by Israel Houghton? It's going to search through Song Select, and here we are. It's come up with a number of titles. Some of them are not the same title. Some of them, maybe it just has these words in the song somewhere. So what I do is then sort by title, and now I can scroll down to just the ones that are actually called Turn It Around, and I can narrow it down from there. If you hover over the song title, you can see some of the lyrics here. And this is the song, and also you see author, Israel Houghton. That's the one I'm looking for. All I have to do is right-click on this and click Add Song to Library. That's it. Now, if I go back to my standard library, and I'm going to clear this so all my songs show up, I can scroll down and I should find Turn It Around. And it's in there. All the sections are properly named: verses, choruses, pre-choruses. It's a good idea. I have found some errors in the songs that I downloaded from Song Select. Maybe not errors so much as maybe we just like things a slightly different way. If it's a Hillsongs, you have to check to make sure that it has American spellings, because they like to spell Savior with a U and all kinds of funky stuff like that. So do go through and proofread these before you throw them up on the screen. But, in a matter of just seconds, you've saved yourself work that in the past would have taken, 10 minutes or so. So I think that's pretty great. All right, getting back to the Elements deck and our content, everything should be the way that you're used to doing it. If you want a Bible verse, you can drag in a Bible verse, stick it in the sermon section, grab your verse, and you're good to go. I've made these sections collapsible so that if you are, let's say the announcements, they take up a lot of room on the screen. If you've already played the announcements and now we're into the service, you don't need them anymore. So go ahead and collapse them, and you don't have to look at all of that stuff, and it's going to be a lot less confusing, a lot less stuff on the screen taking up space. What else? These buttons down here should work. I don't know if they did before, but they should now. If you click logo, you should get a logo, but you're not. All right, maybe those buttons don't work. Let's see. Our announcements work just fine, but if I click my logo, oh, okay. So it only works if something is actually playing. So those do work. That's the button to switch to logo. This button should fade to black. Okay, it doesn't so much fade, but it goes to black, and then this button stops. This color bar button, we will never use that button. We never need that button, so don't worry about it. All right. All of our Bible translations should have made it back where they were before. Hopefully these are all the ones that we had before. Again, I reinstalled everything, so if you find something that I have left out, please let me know. But for the most part, you shouldn't get any of those pagination errors that we got when we switched from the 4:3 screen ratio to the 16:9. You shouldn't get any more of those because I've redone everything. So it's all 16:9 now. The announcements are 16:9. And speaking of the announcements, I decided that it's going to be a lot easier to if you have to edit an announcement or add a new one, Media Shout is kind of confusing to do that in. So, what I did was I set up all the announcements in PowerPoint. And even if you've never used PowerPoint before, it's very simple. It's much simpler than the Media Shout interface. So again, the announcements are already in here ready to go in this Sunday template. But if you need to make a change, you can click on one of these little edit buttons and open up this screen. This button here is, if I mouse over, you see it says Edit Slideshow. If I click that, what it does is open up PowerPoint. And now you have this great, big, beautiful interface that makes it very easy to edit these slides very quickly, change dates. It works just like a word processor that you're all used to. So if you scroll down to the bottom, or anywhere really, you can add a new slide. You can change fonts. You can change the backgrounds. It's very simple to use. If you have any other questions on PowerPoint, just let me know. Once you've made your changes, you can save the file either by clicking Save or Control-S or however you save files, and then you can close the program. I'm not going to save because I didn't do anything useful. If I had, it would bring me back to Media Shout, and I'd click this button called Refresh Preview. And it just goes and updates any changes that you made, and now those are reflected in Media Shout, and you're good to go.